I'm going to read a sentence, and only a sentence, and it is redone in the orientation and organization of it slightly or majorly, depending on your opinion. And it will prove that the person saying this is talking about something specific, it's easily understood, and it's unquestionable and clear as day, not subject to interpretation in any way. I thought the article released online was good. It's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times. I think you're clear. Now, what is that? Well, that has to be, absolutely has to be, someone talking to their son about overseas business dealings. By talking about an online article that'll be printed in the Times the next day and saying, I think you're clear. That's the actual meat of this argument. Hey pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, just give me a call. Nothing urgent, just wanted to talk to you. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you. Now, the actual transcript of this statement, I want to point out something here. But Waptic, you put it in a different order. Yes, the audio recording was creatively edited too, or not. We're going to get to authenticatability. Is this a clear statement made by the person that they were talking about overseas business dealings? I think you're clear. Sounds like an outtake from something else because it doesn't have any context, and I would ask him over the phone what he's talking about. Well, the article that's going to be in the Times the next day that was online the night before. Full transcript. Hey pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on a Wednesday night. If you get a chance, just give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just wanted to talk to you. I thought the article released online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think you're clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you. This is so disjointed that a person would easily say, oh, it's got to be Joe Biden talking. There are other recordings of Joe Biden talking to people, trying to leave a message. And when he leaves a message, he tends not to go off on tangents or segue. Next, you can hear in the recording, even though the website's promoting it as an authenticatable, true recording, even though they could just upload the raw file and not edit it, it's clear they edited. No, I mean it. I'm not even going to run it through an audio analysis using Audacity. I want them to post the, quote, this is the raw file we got from the tapes. No edits. Leave the metadata in. You're not violating anybody's safety, security, privacy, or the possibility of doing a criminal prosecution by giving us unaltered evidence. Complaining about me editing it to where we get to the point. I thought the article I saw online today was good. It'll be printed tomorrow in the New York Times, or whatever the Times. I think you're clear. None of that is a discussion of current business dealings, and none of it actually proves anything. And we don't even know if this is really Hunter Biden getting a message from Joe. The claim is a copy of Hunter Biden's laptop was examined. This is a copy of a copy of a copy now. And people who've examined the file set, who've been allowed to because Giuliani and everybody else in the Trump camp refused to let people get all the files to analyze it. Because if you do that, you see, and they found even when they were trying to hold it back, that a bunch of the files were added after the fact from other sources and had nothing to do with any files that were supposed to be grabbed from Hunter Biden's laptop and archived by Mac Isaac that day. Even Mac Isaac has stated flat out, a lot of the claims being made, a lot of the files that have been claimed to be there were added by people afterwards, and he had nothing to do with it. He has disclaimed this being a valid file set. He says he's going to release his own file set and then doesn't fucking do it. And no, he didn't confirm he saw Hunter Biden come in. And people who say, well, it was confirmed by, name that liberal newspaper or name that newspaper source. No, when you read the article, they say they couldn't. Over and over again, having evidence presented that has been lied about and has been found to be tampered with. Okay, but this is where this file is supposed to be. It's totally cromulent. Where was it found? Was it just on the hard drive as an audio file? No, it was in a password-protected iPhone XS backup file, which means someone would have had to get the password. So now we have another layer of difficulty in believing this. Okay, but let's say they did that. This was accessed, and it was a file that's supposed to be December 12th, 2018, as a voicemail from Joe Biden. Now, I don't know where they're getting that from, but they could just show us the metadata from the original file or get the fuck out of our way and give us the file. Well, that's not how it works when... If Donald Trump left a voicemail saying he overtly caused an insurrection to try to overthrow the U.S. government, would you believe the audio file or demand the raw file so we can look for any sign of tampering? If it was presented by a bunch of libtards that say they got a hold of the answering machine from a business partner illegally or legally, and it was part of a whole bunch of other files, you'd believe it, even if that file set included crap that had never had anything to do with the file set and was added in afterwards containing memes making fun of Donald Trump but not really about the subject. Right? The level and standard of truth and proof people use is very subjective because they don't want to deal with losing their little arguments on the internet. The claim is it's a voicemail from December 12, 2018 from Joe Biden. We don't have that confirmation, and it's a voicemail. If it was audio only, okay. But the iPhone XS backup may have included a phone number. Well, that's why they're not releasing it. Why would any Republican out there care about the 2018 December 12th quote-unquote privacy of a phone number that's probably published by now from a phone that could have been literally any phone he had his hands on to communicate with his son via voicemail? Unless they release the raw file and metadata. And how big was the original iPhone XS backup file? Where's all the details? When people look up information that's supposed to prove Donald Trump is guilty of something, they say, well, where'd you get the files? We want to know all the details. Why are you not disclosing information? It's like my complaint about UFO buffs. They're all about disclosing anything until they're asked to disclose their proof. Then they're very, very tight-lipped and are very secretive about their sources. That's not disclosure. That's not openness. That's lying. If you falsify evidence this much, why is anybody listening to it? Because you want to hear what you want to hear. Joe Biden said in September 2019, a while later, I have never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. That's a very specific statement. And remember, Biden is a former legislator and a former vice president and may know how to couch a statement correctly. Overseas business dealings, business activity overseas with Hunter. And the statement is, this disproves that statement. He said he thought the article released that day was good and it was going to be printed the next day, and I think you're in the clear. That's totally about foreign business dealings with Hunter. He didn't say Hunter's name. Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on a Wednesday. If you get a chance, just give me a call. Nothing urgent, just wanted to talk to you. Love you. No, this doesn't disprove his statement. And yeah, he could have been lying and he might have had a conversation with him. All he had ever have to say is, I'm his dad. We talked about all sorts of things. And yeah, I was told about, he tried to talk to me about dealings with foreign companies, and I told him not to. I mean, that could have happened. He made an absolutist statement. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. Or he could have said, my son has never talked to me about them. Or he won't tell me anything about them even if I ask. Any of those statements should be contradictable. Nobody's found any way to contradict them, I guess, right? I'm sure they have, right? But I saw a news article online and it'll be published tomorrow in their paper form, I think you're clear. Now, the I think you're clear part is very specific. Now, if I had the raw file, which we're never going to get because, of course, Giuliani and their fucking ilk isn't going to release the files, the raw file would actually have some data in it that would indicate the level of quality of the audio recording, whether or not the file itself was on a drive that had any errors. If it was in a compressed archive that was password protected, it might have some sort of anomalies in it. I'd want to know the size of the file, when it was made, time and date stamp, everything. And remember, this is from a file set that has been acknowledged by the person who's supposed to have created it, that has been altered by the politicians by adding extra shit to it to pad their bullshit story. Mac Isaac has said that the files he's seeing attributed to the file set aren't the ones he put on. That means it's been altered since then. That's the Republican Party and specifically the Trump heads altering the data. If you have to falsify your evidence, you don't have any. Then there's some fluffing going on in the articles you see to distract you. They claimed Hunter called a Chinese criminal a spy chief of China for some reason. Now, why is this inserted? The whole idea of these articles, and they are absolutely fluff pieces where they're bullshitting, is they don't want you to read back again. It's going to be the title of the video. I thought the article released online was good. It's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times. I think you're clear. And it has the standard, Joe Biden interrupting himself to be the icing on the cake. And if you listen to the audio, no, I'm not going to do a waveform analysis unless I have the original, but you can hear in the audio parts of it dropping out that sound very much like edits. It is trivial for me to sit down and knit together an audio file to where you can't detect an edit in it. It's not that hard. I did it a lot in the past when I do music recordings. You take the music recording, if you have a computer, you can do this, and pull the waveforms to where anything that goes down and goes to a stop, you have another waveform that comes to it and connects it. It just has to be there. You can draw one with a draw tool for audio and force it to sound good, and it'll be an undetectable edit. And if you look at the big picture, you can edit it cleaner than that. So let's review, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. Is this an audio recording that's unedited? I can't prove it's edited, nor can I prove it's not edited because they won't release the raw file. What I hear sounds very much like edits, but I don't know that. And yeah, the edits I'm hearing sound like they just strung together several audio files. Or just faked it entirely. Next, a claim of a laptop Hunter Biden left off anywhere has been partially contradicted by the person who claimed to have created the file set from it. Because he says the files that you see now aren't the ones I did. They've been added to. And other people have examined it, even though people say time and time again, these people confirmed it. When you read the quote-unquote confirmation, they say a majority of the files are not able to be confirmed, and a bunch of them are faked, and it's obvious. And again, it's amateur night looking things because the files aren't even attempting to hide that they've been edited. And again, it's easy to edit those files to look authentic. And I'm going to point out again, I've got to say this, the Republican Party / Trump heads have made sure that you can have that easy out. I can always point out that it's been edited and altered. And they know that. They did that on purpose so that it would create controversy, so they're not making a claim of its authenticity without it being challenged. It gets it more buzz. A password-protected iPhone XS backup file is supposed to have been accessed, and we don't know what the file size is and blah, blah, blah. And how did they access it? Oh, they had the password. Oh, and that's going to be me asking how they got the password, and then they'll lead me down another garden path. And there's supposed to be a voicemail that contradicts Joe Biden saying he didn't talk to his son about business dealings overseas. He could have talked about business dealings domestically or other things going on overseas, but not business, and still be not lying. And the proof that this is him contradicting it is he mentions, I think you're clear, I saw an article, it's going to be printed tomorrow. And flat out, I want to say this one more time, the audio sounds edited as hell. And it's from a file set that's been proven to be edited and cobbled together from random shit. From a source that also said, that's not the file set I gave him. And no one to this date has released all the files, total disclosure to get the fuck out of the way because they want to be in the center spotlight. And this will go on till the heat death of the universe because they're not going to let go of it because it's politics and politicians fucking lie. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.